Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. This is a question and answer session from March 19th. Public Health Director Annette Rodriguez, Dr. Chris Berg are addressing questions received this week. Please feel free to add your follow-up questions to chat. It's been a week of absolutely beautiful weather. I hope everyone's had a chance to enjoy it. Today's topic, vaccine eligibility and registration, and our weekly healthy lifestyle check-in. Dr. Berg?
Thanks, Jason. So, Annette, how have the vaccinations gone this week at the clinic?
This week, that's a good question. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to say a lot. I think we did American Bank Center. We invited, on St. Patty's Day, we invited 3,100 people. We vaccinated 2,100 people. So 1,000 people did not show up, which tells me maybe they were either on spring break or they found other places to get vaccinated. We actually received first doses on Thursday for next week. And so on Monday, the 22nd, we will be vaccinating 5,000 individuals. On the 23rd and 24th, we're going to be vaccinating 11,500 people combined in those 2 days, and those are going to be second doses. And those are second doses for people that we vaccinated on February the 23rd, 24th, 26th, and 27th. So all of those individuals are going to be invited next Tuesday and Wednesday to come back and get their second doses, and all of these next week are going to be at Richard Borcher Fairgrounds.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's go on to some of our questions from the audience. The first is that some nearby counties have opened eligibility beyond the state's current guidelines. Why is that? How is this possible?
Right, and so we reached out to them and we asked them that same question, just curious, what they were doing or what they were hearing. And their reasoning was because, they had the vaccine already there available, which to me usually means it's already drawn. Once you draw it, you only have 6 hours to put it in people's arms. So I think the time frame was getting close. And so you just, at that point, you open it up to anybody that wants a vaccine at that point. You just want to make sure you're not wasting any. And so it really wasn't intended to be kind of a free-for-all. But it ended up turning out to be that way because they needed to get those vaccines into people's arms.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that's something that we've heard about happening across the country on the national news, and it certainly happened here before also, where if you guys have vaccines left over at the end of the day, you need to find somebody to give them to, right?
That's exactly right. We're getting better. The more we've been in this, the more we learn. And so we're getting better at not having as many vaccines left at the end. So, but it's one way or the other. You either go very quickly and you draw up thinking that you invited, like American Bank Center, 3,100. We could have drawn up 3,100. Fortunately, we did not. We actually only ended up with 2 additional doses. Mm-hmm. And so, and those 2 additional doses take us longer than if we were just vaccinating quickly because we're waiting for people to find us. So anyway, so that's what happened.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. So some people have noticed that vaccine registration is currently open 24/7 online. That's at cctexas.com/vaccine registration. Are people able to choose which clinic location and which vaccine to register for?
Not yet. We are hoping that will happen in the future, but at this time, no. What they're doing actually is they're putting themselves on the waiting list for hopefully the following week. And so people that are signing up right now, though, they're going to get in probably to our Monday clinic at Richard Borcher Fairgrounds because we're looking for at least 5,000 people to invite because we're getting 5,000 doses. And so we want to make sure we use up all of those doses. So just depending on when you sign up, it should be the following week, but it could be a week and a half before you get into one of our clinics. We do encourage more people to sign up because if we don't have 5,000 people signed up, then we're not going to be able to give out 5,000 vaccines on Monday. And then the state's going to feel like maybe we don't need 5,000 the following week. And so we'll start getting less allocations than if we would give all the vaccines out. So we encourage people to sign up, even if you're still scratching your head thinking, should I, shouldn't I? If you meet eligibility and you're uncertain, sign up. The worst that can happen is we invite you, and then at that time maybe you make the determination that you're not interested. Or you determine at that time you are interested and you can come in and get vaccinated on Monday.
Yeah, and I think this is a good time to emphasize to people that don't wait, don't feel like you should wait. I think that a lot of us maybe feel some level of guilt, or like we want to let other people go first and we feel healthy ourselves. But if you qualify, you should definitely sign up as soon as you can to get vaccinated. The quicker you do that, the quicker this is all over, right? So if you start waiting now, what you're doing is you're dragging out the pandemic. So if you're eligible, there's no shame, there's no guilt. Go register. It's super easy, and sign up. Something else. Go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing is right now the only thing we've been receiving is Moderna, so it's still 2 doses that are required, but we notify you when it's time to come back for that second dose. So if we get J&J, we definitely will let everybody know, that we have that, so if that's what they're waiting on or interested in. But again, you really should get whatever is the first available vaccine out there. So that way, like Dr. Bird said, we don't drag this pandemic on any longer than we have to.
Yep, and that reminds me about a conversation we had last week. I'll do a public service announcement for you in that, and that's that you won't get contacted about your second vaccination until it's time. So you're not going to get contacted right after you get your first shot. Nobody's going to reach out to you until it's your second time, and that's kind of it. You'll get notified. So make sure that you're not clogging up our public health department's phone lines by asking when your second dose is going to be. It's 3 weeks after generally, and they'll call you, right? So I know for myself, I haven't heard about the second dose yet. But I'm just waiting, watching my phone, waiting for the text to come in, so that I can get my second dose. And I know on the first dose, you texted me twice, and I got called once or twice, so it was kind of hard to miss it, right? I don't know if Jason and Tiffany, you had similar experiences. Yeah. So make sure if you're calling the public health department. It's not about asking when your second dose is going to be, unless, Annette, is there any exceptions?
I guess the exception to that, Dr. Bird, would be if they did not receive their first dose at the health district, and they're just trying to find a second dose clinic, so there is that exception. But otherwise, if you got your first dose with us at Richard Borchard or American Bank Center, we definitely are going to let you know, and we let you know through text, we let you know through phone call if you have a landline, we let you know through email, we reverse alert you. I tell people we do smoke signals, we put out news releases, we do everything in our power to make sure that you guys have the message that it's time to come back. So, and if you miss a second dose clinic, we're trying to set up future second dose clinics just for those people that missed, because we don't want you to go without getting your second dose. We know how important it is to get that 95% efficacy, and so we do want to get your second dose. We just, it's very difficult if too many people are missing all of the time, but we will set up a second dose clinic specifically for people that have missed, because we all know that things come up in life, people end up in the hospital, people have, doctor's appointments out of town. And so we realize that, and so we're going to do anything in our power to get you that second dose.
All right, that sounds good. Let's see, Tiffany and Jason, are there any additional questions from the audience today?
Yeah, I have one. So next week is 1 month since my first Moderna dose. My card says I should get my second dose at 4 to 6 weeks. If I'm traveling part of next week, how do I get my second dose?
Okay, so that's a really great question, and they're exactly right. So it's 28 days after your first dose for Moderna. but it doesn't have to be exactly on the date. And I think that's what we're trying to tell people. Sometimes the state will send your second dose on the date, on the 28th day. And so we don't set up the clinic for that day. We have wiggle room. So you can get it 4 days before the 28 days up to 6 weeks after. So that's where you're going to come into. You can get your second dose. If you see one of our second dose clinics coming up, that's a good time for you to call the health department to say, there's a lot of people, just FYI. So, I mean, you just have to be patient. You missed the clinic. We didn't miss it. You have to be patient in getting in, a phone line in. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 in the morning till 5. And we register people from 10 to 5, so we help you to register. But if you missed it, call the health department and tell them you missed it. Ask them if you can come to the second dose clinic that's coming up. And the reason I say that is because you need a password. And so we're going to give you a password so that you can get into that clinic. But yes, we're going to try to do everything we can to make sure you get your second dose.
Okay, so it sounds like wait for the text. If you're traveling or you can't make it, then that's the time to reach out to the public health department after you know that you can't make it, to try to schedule or get your name on a list for a future second dose clinic. Is that right?
That's right. You know, it's better wait till you get back into town. People want to call us and tell us, I'm on my way to Louisiana. We're having fun. Oh, what do y'all do? Working? You know, we really don't want to hear all that. We just want to hear back. I'm back and I'm in town and I missed it. It was really something critical I was doing, and that's why we missed it. And are you having any clinics this week? Or even better, if you hear there's a second dose clinic on Thursday, now you call us and say, hey, I heard there's a second dose clinic on Thursday. I missed mine last week. Don't tell us that you were traveling to Cancun or anything. Just tell us you missed it, and then we'll say, okay, here's the password for Thursday. Please come in and we'll take care of you.
Okay.
So would it help the health department plan ahead if someone calls to cancel their second dose if they know they've got to be at work or on a plane?
No, it does, actually. You know, if we know how many people are canceling, the problem is that only 1 or 2 call to cancel, and then 800 don't show up. So, does it help? It would if it was consistent, but we only usually have a few people that call us to cancel. So, it's a guessing game. We're drawing up syringes, we're watching cars, you know. We're doing a lot of things just so we don't waste any vaccine. And we've been very fortunate. We haven't wasted it yet this time, because we always are able to find people. Plus, we also have backup plans. You know, if we have an extra 10, who's close by that we can vaccinate, you know. And we've ended up, and I think I've told everybody, we've gone to Dollar Tree, we've gone to Walmart when we have extra doses. We just make sure we get them in people's arms.
All right. Any other questions, Tiffany?
No other questions. Last chance. Anybody have a question?
All right, Jason, you want to take us home before somebody asks a question?
Hit it off. One just came in. One just came in. Let me ask that. Can you recommend any OTC meds to ease second dose side effects? Over the counter. Any over-the-counter meds to ease second dose side effects?
If you have side effects, what we don't recommend, and I think this is really important because this is coming from CDC, the WHO, we don't recommend that you medicate yourself before coming for your second dose. I think a lot of people are hearing that people have more reactions to the first dose, and so they're taking Tylenol or Advil before they come to the clinic. CDC doesn't recommend you doing that. Come in, get your vaccine. If you start getting symptoms after that, then yes, absolutely. Take some type of pain medication to help the pain, because it's usually the soreness of the arm. It's usually the worst. But some people have had this, you know, this headache that they feel like it's just a migraine that won't go away for a couple of days. So there's all sorts of, you know, different side effects different people have. But definitely, you know, it's okay to do. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be going 4 or 5 days with all these symptoms and not seeking medical attention. So if it's that bad, and you know it's that bad, nothing's going away, you're feeling sicker every day, you need to be reaching out to your physician.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I want to thank everyone for watching, especially if you submitted a question. In the Q&A, there's no Q without you. Also, thank you to everybody for your ongoing contributions to curbing the pandemic. The next task force report will be uploaded this afternoon to social media. Please join us every single Friday at noon for the question and answer session. And remember to direct questions or comments to @CBCovid on social media. Have a wonderful and safe and warm and sunny weekend.
Bye, everybody.